Welcome to the video. My name is Salt and Petty, and I'm excited to share with you a mono-white angel brew that I've had for some time and that I really love and enjoy. Plus, if you like melding or you just like flying baddies, this is the deck for you. Let's get into it. Alrighty, well, let's start things off by going over our commander herself. For 5 generic and 2 white, we get a 5/7 legendary creature Angel Horror with flying and vigilance. With whenever you cast this spell, you may return target angel or human creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So not only is our commander a giant flying beater with vigilance, and also one of the coolest type wings in Magic history, in my opinion, she's also a reanimator spell stapled to the cast. So even if our commander gets bounced to hand or she gets countered straight up, we still get the cast trigger of reanimating any angel or human in our graveyard. So naturally, our entire deck is only angels or humans. Plus, with the main goal of this deck being to meld into the great omnipotent Brisela, it was important that we had one of the two sides in the command zone, and I just feel that Bruna is a more powerful piece that we can rely on as we move into the end game, whereas the other side is a bit more effective and powerful, but not as exciting for the command zone slot itself. Speaking of, let's go over Brisela herself. For 2 and 2 white, we get a 4/3 legendary creature Angel Horror that has flying, first strike, and lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you both own and control Brisela the Broken Blade and a creature named Bruna the Fading Light, exile them both and meld into Brisela, Voice of Nightmares. Now, as I said, Brisela is a very powerful angel, especially for only being 4 mana, but she's just not that exciting for the commander slot. Obviously though, she's the second most important card in our deck, because with her, we get Brisela, Voice of Nightmares, an Eldrazi angel with 9 power, 10 toughness, flying, first strike, vigilance, and lifelink, and the text that our opponents can't cast spells with mana value 3 or less. One thing that I find playing this deck is people are always so excited to see Bruna because they go, do you ever get the meld off? And I always am like, yes, but usually by the time the meld goes off, you will not be happy to see it. And that's always the case. Everyone's so excited to see you meld, and then Brisela shows up and their excitement suddenly drops because nearly all the good removal spells are 3 mana or less in commander. So all of that stuff cannot be cast on our girl. Plus, because Bruna is part of the meld, Brisela counts as our commander. So now we're really able to start threatening commander damage on the table. Plus, with that vigilance first strike lifelink combination, our health total is going to swing back if they've been targeting us early, and she's an excellent blocker and defender. I love Brisela. I think she's so badass. When the concept of meld was introduced, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I'm very excited to go over this deck with you guys. This is one of my favorites, and it's a deck I've really blinged out because I really like it. Alright, enough about Brisela. Let's start looking at the other angels and humans we have to back her up. In total, we have 28 creatures, 7 of which are going to be humans supporting our beautiful angelic women, and then 21 beautiful angelic women themselves. Now, as I stated, this is a reanimator deck, so I want to start with our most expensive angels and work our way down, because besides, this is YouTube and it's way more exciting if I get to talk about the cool stuff first, and you're more likely to watch the rest of the video. So, starting with Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Obviously, Avacyn is in the Angel Reanimator deck. It's probably the best hit in the deck in terms of resurrection, and it's going to be our most expensive angel at 8 mana. However, we have 4 other 7-drop angels I want to talk about. Specifically 3. Herald of Eternal Dawn, Saphara Sky's Blade, and Serra's Emissary. All 3 of these are great reanimator targets. Personally, Serra's Emissary is my absolute favorite card in the deck. A 7/7 flyer that, as it enters, we choose a card type, and then we, ourselves, you, a lot of people seem to miss that part, and creatures we control have protection from the chosen card type. This almost always is going to choose creature. which makes all of our creatures unblockable and makes us unable to take damage from creatures. This card is so good! Now obviously, a card like this is going to try to be targeted with removal, which is why our Reanimator commander is going to be very useful. Plus, Sapphire's Sky's Blade is a 7-mana 7/7 flying lifelink angel that gives our other creatures with flying indestructible, making our Sapphire's Emissary extremely hard to remove and giving a redundancy if we can't reach our Avacyn or she's unfortunately exiled. Plus, Herald of Eternal Dawn is a platinum angel effect that we can continuously recur when necessary. Now, admittedly, Herald of Eternal Dawn is not going to be as impactful as Sarah's Emissary or Avacyn Angel of Hope, but Herald of Eternal Dawn absolutely can keep us in the game for one more turn rotation. And usually with the big board of angels, we only need one more turn rotation. The last 7-mana angel we have in the deck is Angel of the Ruins, which is a little cheeky because she's primarily going to be used for the plane cycling and then reanimated later. And this card is a powerhouse, regardless of the deck typically that it's in. But even here, we're going to abuse it more. We are going to take advantage of her angel typing. We have an easy way to put her in the graveyard, and we have an extremely easy way to get her out with our commander. I mean, for 7 mana, we can get a 5/7 Flying Vigilance, a 5/7 Flyer, and 2 exiled artifacts and enchantments. That exile clause is getting more and more important with stuff like the One Ring and these new Infinity Stones, apparently. So it's extremely powerful, extremely good, and one of my favorite cards in the deck. With our 8 and 7 mana angels discussed, we're going to start working our way in a more rapid fire manner through the remaining angels in our deck. Starting at the 6 mana slot, we have Sanctuary Warden for card draw and Ardent Angel as an interesting reanimation piece. In the 5 mana slot, we have Angel of Sanctions, Archangel of Thune, Karmic Guide, and Lyra Dawnbringer, offering either removal, reanimation, or amplification. In the 4 mana slot, Battle Angels of Tyr and Sarah Paragon offer us recursion and equilibrium, while Angel of Jubilation and Archangel of Ties offer powerful defensive maneuvers. In the 3 mana slot, we have some more life gain synergy with Angel of Vitality, Resplendent Angel, and Righteous Valkyrie. And our lowest mana angels will be Youthful Valkyrie and Giada Font of Hope, with Giada offering a nice ramp for our angels and amplifying them even bigger as they enter for the more angels we have in play. With so many lovely ladies, it's important that we have a few humans down on the ground to support them. Esper Sentinel is an obvious mono-white card draw staple, supported with Cathar Commando that gives us some removal and is a last-minute recursion piece in case we have truly nothing else to go for. Knight of the White Orchid offers us some ramp, and Starnheim Aspirant offers us an extreme discount. Keeper of the Accord will balance the game out in our favor, and Mangara the Diplomat will ensure our cards are many as our opponents play the game. Most importantly though, we have Thalia's Lancers. At the end of the day, this is a Brisela deck, so it's important we have access to the pieces we need. Thalia's Lancers is a legendary tutor on ETB, stapled to a 4/4 first strike human body. Great and powerful, I like to think. Plus, we have enough other legendaries in the deck that if for some reason Gisela's already been dealt with, we still have plenty of other options to find. With our Angelic Symphony ready and discussed, it's evident we have the creature feature that it's going to take to win the game. So we're dedicating the remaining slots of our deck to empowering, enhancing, and smoothing out all the edges of the deck. Let's take a look at the support cards. Now, a large set of our support cards are going to fall into the artifact category, as that's where most standard Kindred enablers are, such as Herald's Horn, Urza's Incubator, Icon of Ancestry, Vanquisher's Banner, and even Patchwork Banner, as angels are typically high mana value, and this is a nice little anthem effect. However, I'd like to specifically take a moment to point out Pyre of Heroes, a 2-mana artifact that reads tap, pay 2, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card that shares a creature type with a sacrifice creature and has a mana value equal to 1 greater than the sacrifice creatures. Put that card onto the battlefield and shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. This is basically a birthing pod for Kindred strategies, and it is arguably the strongest and most important card in our deck. Not only is this allowing us to cheat out new angels, which is also why it's important that our angel mana values range from 2 to 8 consistently, so that way we can continue to work our way up the Pyre of Heroes ladder. But also, this gives us resurrection targets for Bruna as well. So it is quite literally a 2-for-1. New creature into play and a free reanimation target in our graveyard. This card is bonkers. To a same but also lesser extent, we're running Altar of Dementia, another sack outlet that also lets us fill our graveyard, but of course isn't going to let us cheat in angels the same way our Pyre of Heroes will. However, we're not leaving our support cards to only Kindred strategies. Cards like Heraldic Banner and Oketra's Monument will reward us for being in mono white, while cards like Wedding Ring will enable us to keep up with our opponents as they begin to draw through their entire deck. Smothering Tithe, Teferi's Protection, and Enlightened Tutor make up our Game Changer suite, with a Smothering Tithe allowing us big mana for big angels, Teferi's Protection giving us instant speed protection, and Enlightened Tutor, which allows us to grab our aforementioned Pyre of Heroes whenever we need. Now we do have a couple board wipes in the forms of Starfall Invocation, Hour of Revelation, and Vanquish the Horde. Vanquish the Horde and Hour of Revelation reduce their costs to allow us to not have to tap out our whole turn to deal with the board. And I do want to specifically say Hour of Revelation is incredibly slept on. I think this card is so powerful, especially if you're white leaning. For 3 mana, you can destroy all the land permanents. That just seems so good. I just don't know why it's not discussed as much. And Starfall Invocation allows us to have a pseudo reanimate effect on a board wipe for the low cost of gifting of an opponent a card. If you can't find an opponent to gift a card for a free resurrection, you might not be playing the way you need to play to win anyways. We also have 2 Planeswalkers supporting our lineup, with Sarah the Benevolent, which is really just here for flavor because I think the card's gorgeous and I have a whiteboarded version. You could probably realistically replace this, but I like that she anthems, I like that she makes tokens, and I truly love her -6 with her emblem. We also have Teo, Geometric Tactician, to strategically protect us and to give us card draw. And as I said, if you can't find an opponent to give a card to, you might not be playing the politics of Commander correctly. Alrighty, we're gonna wrap things up with our lands. Now, I do want to take a moment to highlight both 3 Tree City and Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Nykthos absolutely is great in this deck. However, 3 Tree City I do not feel is the case. While it's a powerful effect and a powerful card, and hey, if you just happen to have one, you could probably put it in this deck for value. That being said, we're not flooding the board with angels the way a lot of Kindred strategies like to flood and abuse 3 Tree City. So it's really just not as important in this deck. However, what is important is Cavern of Souls, as that will make our angels uncounterable, and we're spending a lot of mana to cast an angel, so that's important. Plus, Bonder's Enclave, War Room, and Minas Tirith will allow us abilities that give us options to draw cards. Command Beacon will return our expensive mana value commander from the command zone to our hand when she starts getting to, 11 plus mana to cast. And Amir the Sky Ruin is a powerful, albeit rare, backup condition for Resurrection in mono white. Alrighty guys, I hope you liked the deck tech. I really like Bruna. I think she's beautiful. I even got the Secret Lair deck when it came out, which obviously is kind of a shell for this if you didn't see that. If you liked the video, subscribe, hit the like. It kind of means a lot to a little YouTube boy like me. And more importantly, I guess just check out some of the other videos. Who would you like to see me do a deck tech on? I love strong cards and I love evil women. So either one of those things, suggest below and we'll probably do a deck tech on it. I've got a lot coming out, so make sure you don't miss it. All right, that's enough chit chatter for me. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.